his third season. The most of that has been in the G League as George knocks it down to Durant. George right back. Let's keep it going there. Paul George again. JaVale McGee gave them last year. Here's George from downtown.
George gets the contact and the foul. George left wide open for three. Might not be more open all year long. George left wide open for three. Needs it, gets it. Big bucket for PG. Sets up Paul George, who knocks down the three. Ball movement, there's George for the three. And a much-needed three.
Back-to-back possessions.
George creating some space with the jab.
It's handled by George, and he knocks down a three.
Find a rhythm as well.
George able to drill it.
The offensive end.
How about Paul George all of a sudden? And George wants that three, and he buries it from the left side. George steps into the three. Nothing but net for Paul George. As he will launch it from half court, and it goes. On the defensive end, Paul George checks the tape to make sure he's behind the three-point line.
With Gallo. That's a big bucket.
1-2. George bounces into a three. Knocks it down straight away.
Another three ball. This one from Paul George, and knock it down. Putting on a show right now, leaving George open, and he knocks down another three-pointer. 10.1 rebounds.
He's got one of the best defensive ratings on the team. It's Paul George on the second shot of the possession. Step back three, Paul George. Second one of the first quarter. Pick and pop for Paul George. Tickles the twine. Since the early part of the season, Paul George, a much-needed. Has time to take a dribble, pulls up for three, and knocks it down.
George, quick release for 13 points. Capella has 10. And Paul George right back through here. George hits.
Right back to George. They play the two-person game. The screen. George with the three. That is good. Paul George struggling on the defensive end, and now there's another run. Paul George making 22-0.
Confused out there. That's Paul George.
Paul George on the reload three. Picks up right where he left off. George on fire. George, nice screen from Adams, setting him free.
Paul George gets another wide open look. He matches that from distance.
Wants the three, got the three. George answers back with a three of his own. By that springs George open for three, and he knocks it. George got fouled. Count it. And George knocked down another three. Yes, he can. George, tough shot, doesn't matter. Buries the three. Paul George wide open. And you can count it. Catch fire three. That is good.
Well, you just got to get a couple of stops. That's all. And that's what you need. The offense is going to come.
George on the reload, and that time he knocks it down. Maneuvering, pulls up, and buries the three. Westbrook to George. George with the three, and he got it.
For the Thunder, who have 9 to shoot. George banks it in. How about that? George around the screen. Oh, a three goes!
Forced one up right there trying to get a foul call.
George will try it in the other end. And what a swing.
George wants the three. That is a response. Paul swings around to an open George three. Count it. Corner. Defender lost his balance. George stops it down. Takes it outside. George, another three. That time he's able to knock it down. George left open. That three. That's going to rattle home.
Offensive rebound.
George by Paul George. Transition three. Splashes all kinds of contact, but found the open man. It's Paul George. 17 on the season. But right back the other way. Corner three. George. That's good. George got the flyby. Wants the three and got the three.
But just the length of the Thunder being able to create offense.
As George lights that one up and knocks it down. Paul George splashes that one home. Off the inbounds. George got the flyby, and that Swisher can get a little closer here. Paul George. That is a three. Quarter number 4. George feeling it. Still feeling it. Make it three. George got the flyby. Three on the way. He's good with 3.1 seconds. Sets the feet. Launches and knocks it down. Splashes home that three. Open man. Paul George still hot from downtown. Over to George. Wants the three. Got the three.
Don't give you a whole lot of possessions.
George splashes that one home. George, the reload. That's good. As George dances, hand in the face, doesn't matter. George, boy, he is on fire from downtown.
George was trying to draw contact. There wasn't any, but here's George for a three. It's good. His second triple. Sizing it up. Hitting a three. City's allowed in any quarter this year. Here's George for three. It's good with a second and a half remaining. George for three. George feeling it for three. Got it! His third triple.
Tina relying on that three ball. Paul George answers. Paul George lines up another three ball.
And knocks down another three. Stampedes ahead, wants the three, got the three. Paul George, catch fire three. He stays on fire. George. At the United Center is Paul George. Lines up a three and knocks it down. Stepping into a three is George, and he buries it from the left wing. Uh-oh. Keeps the possession alive. George. Uh-oh. Finds his spot on the floor, the corner three. As George tees up another one from downtown. Paul George, ooh, between his legs, nifty move. And he drops it in.
Good defense. George lines up another. Come on.
Are you serious, Paul George? Corner three, high arcing, and it drops in.
Without fouling him, a couple of blocks by Jeremy Grant. And look what it leads to on the other end.
Jazz, George, catch fire three on the way. That rattles home. And counting. Paul George wants the three, and got the three. George on the step back. Continues to feel it. This time, it's from downtown. Three from the corner, that's good. George, the three, that's good.
3 for 10 from the floor. He'll try this three-pointer, and he buries the bottom of the net. Spots up for three. Got it.
This guy's just too comfortable and confident from that spot.
George splashes home. A step back three. Buries it. Westbrook hit him in stride.
Biggest lead of the game for Dallas. Finally, Paul George drills one from deep. Tees it up and knocks it down. As George again from downtown. Instead, the ball comes back out to the perimeter, and Paul George open on the catch fire three, and another one for Paul George.
Well beyond the arc. That's a three.
George for three.
I think it's in his nature to want to share it.
Catch and shoot three by Paul George. Wednesday, when as he drills a three, swept the Thunder. In fact, as George nails a three, Oklahoma City
on my mind. So Paul George, beautiful shot. One.
As Paul George smokes the rim on another one.
Pretty solid.
Automatic for Paul George.
Basketball.
George launches and knocks it.
To make that all night.
George off the feed from Westbrook. He'll try to line up the three, and he does. Second three of the night. George comes right back down again. Lines it up and knocks it down. Good shots all night. George springs free, and he comes back and knocks it down.
Picked up his first. George with a three. Puts it up in. George for three. Paul George. We've tried to find out from Oklahoma City with a three right here by George.
Left open. He dials it up from downtown. Again for the lead. And George gives the Thunder the lead.
George the step back. Right there. George free for three. Cha-ching, that's a Thunder money ball alive. George wants three. Give it to him. Cha-ching, a Thunder money ball. That's three, and Paul George converts. Big shot. George for three. Cha-ching, a Thunder money ball makes it a 9-point game.
Do it again right here, and they do. A three-pointer for George for three. With the possibility of a mid-season change, this is Paul George from downtown. But a deep three, yes!
Look at that Laker bench taking responsibility. And George taking responsibility.
George with the step-back three. Got it! Well, like we said, for the lead, Paul George right there when they want him. Now with the three-point, and he does. The three ball quickly, got it, and one! My George, Paul on the job!